Leon Goretzka will be leaving FC Bayern München at the end of this season, you guys. The saga is done. The frustration is done. Gymretzka, Steroid Retzka, Jogretzka, Balding Goretzka. It's over. It's over. Leon Goretzka will be leaving the club at the end of this season, fully confirmed. He did not get the move during the winter transfer window to Atletico Madrid, which was the talks that were really heating up the last couple of days before the window ended. And Leon Goretzka has decided to announce that he will stay at Bayern until the end of the season, see out his contract, and he will leave as a free agent at the end of the season. And I would say for most people, including myself, this is good news. This is good news. Like, this is a player we have been frustrated with for seasons now. Not just one season here, one season. This is a player we have been frustrated with for a while. Ever since Hansi Flick left, there have been just large periods of time where Leon Goretzka has been a pain in this team. He has used his seniority to his advantage in order to get minutes, in order to get starts, when he really didn't deserve a lot of the game time he got at times the last couple of seasons. But in the end, it's over. And after, I believe this is his 8th season at FC Bayern München, this is an end of an era, the end of the Leon Goretzka era at Bayern. And you know what? I'll start it off on a positive note. Like, has Goretzka been a net positive? Is he a failed transfer? It's tough to say. He's not a failed transfer, but did we get what we actually expected from Goreztka when we signed him? Because I think a lot of people forget when he was breaking out at Schalke in 2016, 17, 18 at Schalke. This guy was like, he wasn't at the same technical level, but people were thinking of him as like the next Julian Draxler. Like, really technical, really exciting footballer. He played as a number 10 at Schalke. He was heavily involved in the attack. That was Leon Goretzka. I think a lot of people have forgot about that. But when he moved to Bayern, obviously that first season under Kovac was hit and miss. But then things exploded under Hansi Flick, and he really became a box-to-box midfielder, getting involved in defense, attack, controlling the game, box crashing, headers, long shots. You know, that's what made him become one of the best midfielders in the world, because Leon was one of the best midfielders in the world for like 2 seasons, maybe 3. But for the last couple of seasons, he's just kind of been frustrating. It feels like he hasn't been fully motivated for the team. He's had good phases of form. I won't lie. There has been times where he has probably outperformed a Kimmich for a month, or been more impressive than a Pavlovic, at least been more available. But I think the negatives and the frustrations outweigh the positive feelings from the last couple of seasons. And it's a good time to split up. It's a good time to part ways. And so, you know, I would say respect to Goreztka. He came here. We won a treble. We had a legendary sextuple season. He'll always be part of that history. But it's the perfect time. His time at Bayern is done. We've kind of known that his time at Bayern has been done the last season and a half. But it just came down to actually making the decision to part ways. And, you know, I don't think this is the end of Leon's career. He's, what, 30? Let me just double check, actually, his age. Leon Goretzka. Leon's 30 years old, so I don't think this is the end of Leon's career. I genuinely think, and I have said this in some videos in the past on my channel, I've tweeted this many times, I just feel he's grown comfortable at Bayern. He doesn't have this drive to really have hunger and fight for his place in the team. We saw that drive and hunger come back out last season, where Company wanted to get rid of him, but he stayed and wanted to fight for his place. And he eventually, due to injuries and other situations that happened throughout the season, got a lot of minutes and actually was kind of useful at times during the season. He fought for his place back, and we saw this hunger come out of him. He was actually contributing on the field. He wasn't being lazy. He was doing his defensive work, getting involved in the attack. But again, I feel like that motivation passed again, and he needs a new challenge. I won't be surprised if Leon goes to another club and has a revitalization. And we're going to talk about potential clubs. Obviously, after the contract ends, I think the number one club that will be back in for him in the summer is Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone. I think they're totally going to come back in for him as a free agent. But other clubs, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Manchester United, Chelsea, like he's a senior player, bro. A lot of a lot of clubs would want him. He's not this worthless player. He has a lot to give, in my opinion. I just think the hunger, the desire, he grew too comfortable at Bayern. It became a luxury, no longer a privilege. And I think a new start for him can really revitalize his career. And let's just talk about it. I mean, we're talking about it, but I wanted to pull up his farewell message that he posted. Not his full farewell message, but his just notification to the fans. He posted on Instagram, "Dear fans, the last few days have been more turbulent than expected. At the same time, they've brought clarity. As much as I'm honored by the interest from top international clubs, I've made a clear decision that I want to stay with FC Bayern until the end of the season. With a team that's incredibly fun to be around, both on and off the pitch, and a coach who has molded our squad back into a true unit." Again, just want to say, huge praise for a company there. It shows you that I think that's a jab at Tuchel, like how messy things were under Thomas Tuchel. I think that's gives you a little insight into what company has brought at Bayern. But anyway, with a team that's incredibly fun to be around, both on and off the pitch, and a coach who has molded our squad back into a true unit, showing respect to Vincent Company. I feel a deep commitment to this team and the club. Our shared goal is to be back at the Marienplatz in May, celebrating the biggest titles together with you. At the same time, the club and I have decided, after good and constructive discussions, that our successful time together will come to an end this summer. As I've said before, it's also the right time for me to start a new chapter, as a footballer and as a person. But there's still a lot to do before then. Let's give it our all to achieve maximum success this season and at the World Cup with FC Bayern and the national team. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for your support. 2026, Mia San Mia. So again, I think you're kind of getting a little insight. I think Leon himself feels he needs a new challenge. I really believe so. And this is an amicable ending. I think he got another remember, like I said, company didn't want him. He wanted to get rid of him last summer, right? Or not, summer 2024, if you remember correctly. He got another 2 seasons, gonna get another 2 Bundesliga titles, potentially a Champions League this season. Let's see how things play out, but I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good that maybe Goreztka now, knowing that his time will come to an end, that maybe we will actually see improved performances from him these last couple of months. Him wanting to end the season on a high note, him playing for a potential spot at that World Cup. It could be his last World Cup. So a lot to play for Goreztka. And, on that point, let's go to this tweet here by Aimia San Mia. Leon Goretzka decided to stay at Bayern until the end of the season purely for sporting reasons, as Atletico Madrid were ready to match his Bayern salary for the rest of the season. Leon sees a big chance of winning his second Champions League title, 7th Bundesliga title, and even a treble this season. He does not want to miss out on that and wants to leave on a high after 8 years at the club. In addition, after he made his comeback with the national team last March, Goretzka does not want to jeopardize his World Cup chances by moving to a new club and league mid-season, since this could be his last major tournament for Germany. So, again, these are good signs that Goretzka's like Leon's mentality. Like, he's still thinking sporting-wise. I think he believes that there's still stuff left for him to do in football. It's just his time at Bayern is done. It was nice 7-8 years together, and he was a good servant to the club. No matter what you think, this guy was usually not injured, consistently available, and he produced a lot of great moments for us. A lot of frustrating ones in the tail ends, but a lot of great moments as well. And I do think it's interesting how his identity as a player has changed because, like I said, this was a kid coming out of Schalke, attacking mid, heavily involved in the attack, the face of Schalke before Schalke is down. Like he's the last real top talent to come out of Schalke. Really, he's the last guy to come out of there. But if you before obviously Schalke got relegated, the financial hardships that they went through the last couple of years, they could potentially make a comeback to the Bundesliga next season. But we'll see how this season plays out in this fight of Bundesliga. But yeah, his time is done. And if it's Atletico Madrid, listen, I think that's a good fit for him. That is a good fit for him. The mold of player he is now, I could see that being successful for Leon. Another option for me, and I think this is a team that has struggles with money, and they can't just go and splash money on players who have a manager that has produced probably the best form we've ever seen from Leon Goretzka in Hansi Flick. Barcelona should really be monitoring the situation now that he will be available as a free agent. Barcelona should be monitoring the situation. Would Leon Goretzka go to Barcelona and displace Frankie de Jong or Pedri? Absolutely not. But he would be a very strong addition to the squad. And with a manager in Hansi Flick, who was the guy that got the best out of Leon, that's an option. Premier League. Leon can play in the Premier League. Come on now. Mid-table Premier League team, one of the top teams in the he can. Fulham, Sunderland, if they continue their good form next, like he could link up with Goreztka at Sunderland. Chelsea, he could be a senior player at Chelsea. He probably wouldn't be a starter at Chelsea, but he could go to a Chelsea, a Liverpool. He could fit at these clubs. A Spurs, why not? You go to Serie A, Inter, Juventus, AC Milan. These are all options. So I think although Atleti was the main club interested in him during this winter window, I won't be surprised if post World Cup, although I think there was another report that Leon wants to sort his new club out before the World Cup starts because I think he has confidence that he can make that squad. Before that World Cup comes, towards the end of the season, I won't be surprised if you see Amia Sanmia tweeting AC Milan interested, Inter Milan interested, Juventus, Atleti, Barcelona, Chelsea, Spurs, Sunderland, Fulham, etc., Crystal Palace, whatever, are interested. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. Even actually, no, I won't go. Real Madrid don't have space for him, but I see him having a lot of options, and I feel good. I have confidence that Leon will go and rediscover himself. This is like trying to find yourself as a player again. I think if he goes to the right place, he can revive himself a bit. He's only 30 years old. He takes good care of himself. He does. That's kind of what he was. One of the things he was known for at Bayern. He takes care of his body. This doesn't have to be the end for him. He could go to La Liga and have another good 5-year career in La Liga. Go to Serie A and have a good 5-6 extra years at the top flight in Serie A, still playing Champions League, whether it's for a La Liga team, a Serie A team. So I still have a lot of hope for Leon. The negative emotions for him just come from the fact that I realized a while ago that he became comfortable here. And, when you become comfortable, when you're sleeping in the silk sheets, it's hard to wake up at 5 a.m. to go do your runs. You know what I mean? It's that Marvin Hagler quote. He needs to go, move to a new country, fresh start, and get back to the grind. Establish himself somewhere else again. And it'll be his first time playing outside of Germany and playing. I doubt he'll stay in the Bundesliga. I'm sure he won't stay in the Bundesliga. I think from where he is trending, his feelings, the reports coming out, he will for sure, I'm confident, land in La Liga, if not La Liga Serie A. I can guarantee you that. So, Leon, he's leaving Bayern this summer. Maybe as a proper send-off, his performances actually improve. And hey, who cares if that's the case? That would be great for us. We need people playing. We need people playing at a top level, right? To sacrifice a lot for this badge, right? To win a goddamn treble. So, Leon, we'll give you another proper send-off video at the end of the season. But yeah, I think this is the right decision. I think this is always like the elephant in the room, especially the last 18 months. The elephant in the room has been kicked out. It's official. He's leaving. Now I feel like he could really just focus on Bayern, the national team, making sure he's at the World Cup, and yeah, sorting out his new club at the end of the season. So, you guys, it's been your boy Hokage. I'm a little late to the news, but better late than never. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Goreztka? Was he an overall success? What do you think about the way his play style has changed at Bayern the last 8 years? It's an interesting case study. Um, yeah, let me know if you want him to stay. I think there is a minority of people that want him to stay. But if you're in that minority, let me know. And, I like talking to you guys in the comments. So, yeah, it's been your boy Okage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.